Good day, Dayton, Ohio. Hey, this is Tammy. I'm coming to you this morning to give you an idea of what I do when I hit my office first thing. How do I stay connected, know what's going on, and able to answer questions for clients as they come in. And it is a matter of how you start the day off as to what information you have fresh in your mind. Obviously, staying connected with our local communities is very important in order to know how each of the markets are doing in each of those surrounding communities. So, because I have a wealth of information as well as networking contacts, it is a great chance for me to see what's going on either on a daily, weekly basis with our communities, but also on the daily coming in and checking our data sources. As a realtor, obviously, we've got data source in our MLS, and that is a source of a lot of information. And then I can go dig and find other details as needed for my clients as we are in the market looking either for the sale or purchase of properties for them. So let's go ahead and click in here and take a look at what's going on in our Dayton Realtors site. And what I'll do is typically come in and see what's going on in the market watch. And this allows for me to see what I have been noticing the last couple of weeks is that we typically have had more price decreases. Here's 13 versus new listings hitting the market on a daily basis. So more price decreases happening mean that either the properties haven't sold as quickly as the sellers would like, or they are not getting the traction that they want. And so adjusting that price means they do a price decrease in order to keep buyers looking or interested, or to spur again that market in order to come through and make an offer on their property. So when we see more of those taking place, it does tell us that the market has softened a little bit, which our official numbers are going to tell as well. But currently what I would like to do is just check out what are the new listings. And this is something that I do just to kind of have an idea of what's going on. And we're seeing that said 9 on the front page. I see that there's 11 here, so there's been an update. And I can tell everywhere from Fairfield Township, Springfield, New Carlisle, Lebanon, Tip City, Beaver Creek, Centerville. We've got Bellbrook in here. So these are properties all around our communities that give me a good range of what somebody is looking for. The next thing I will typically do is come over here to the current price and sort it by that, because if price is driving a buyer, then I want to know what's the least priced item and where is it located, what does it offer, to know if it's worth diving into for a little bit more information. So just as an example, we're going to go through a couple of these just so you have an idea of what I can see. Here on the surface, of course, I can tell what municipality this is in as well as that price point. But if it offers a 3-bedroom, 1-bath or particulars there, then I can know if that is something that will be of interest for my clients. So we'll click on this just to go in and see the details. And here is where I just do a quick rundown. I want to know what's the list price, that $149.9 at 1,073 square foot. That gives me a price per square foot of $139.79. So that's right in that usually an acceptable budget for someone who is either looking for a starter home, maybe an investment opportunity, or even downsizing. And in this case, with 3-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1962, I can see if it fits any of the criteria that I'm currently searching for and go through and see has there been any updates. This does indicate that there's been a lot of mechanical updates, including the HVAC system, a water heater, breaker panel, the doors, and new windows that will be installed before the closing. So it certainly has some benefit there for peace of mind, and I would just take a quick look at these pictures and click through those to see if I notice anything of particular interest before I would either pass this on to a client or not. And what I would see here is that there is no garage attached to the home. There is a shed back here, but no solid garage. And that might be a determinant for a buyer who says, no, I want to definitely have a garage. Even if it's a 1-car attached, could you build onto here? Certainly that would be a potential option because the driveway goes back in here. It looks like it has the setway for that. But if you're not willing or wanting to put out that kind of money, then not having a garage might deter you from seeing this. Again, you're just going to check out, it does have a back fenced yard, does have a little covered area here as a deck, and then another storage shed. So just quickly going through it, we see some benefits. There's the newer flooring that we can see that have been updated. Looks like it's some neutral colors that have been used throughout here, several views of the living room. And then we move on into the kitchen. It's an eat-in kitchen, so not a separate dining room, which is pretty typical for that square footage. And again, that would be, does that work for you or not? If you need a designated dining room area for formal entertaining, then this is probably already moved off of your list. And you can see some of the colors throughout with the bedrooms, the bathroom, and here I would notice that we have exterior overflow on paint. They've probably painted the siding at some point. Maybe not this particular seller, maybe it was before them. However, because it is oversprayed on the brick, not necessarily a nice clean look, and it could be just a good heavy power wash would take care of that. These are things that we just want to notice and see if it's up to par for our buyers before we schedule an appointment and go from there. Of course, it does have the new HVAC system that they noted, as well as the new breaker box. So again, some peace of mind going along with those items may make that a contender. We'll go back here, click on our next button, and now we'll see we have a property. This one is in Centerville. This is actually a condo, and so when I have buyers who are looking for condos, I typically already know some of the things that they want to know is what's that purchase price, $165,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This was built in 1988. It is Centerville, which is a desirable area for a lot of people, but it is a second floor unit. So if they don't want to deal with stairs, this might already take it out of contention. The other thing that I dropped down to is I want to see what's that HOA monthly. So this one is $240 a month. And I know that people have to be able to factor what is my mortgage payment going to be on the cost, but also what's my monthly fee with a condo. That HOA is going to be a monthly fee that in addition to your mortgage payment, you also have to pay. And sometimes at $240 doesn't sound like it's a lot, but it may be a deterrent from somebody moving forward with this particular condo purchase. Now we have another one that's coming up here. This is also in Centerville area. It's also a condo, but it's a 2.5 bath, so it's a year newer. And for that reason, it's priced just a little bit higher. And that price per square foot is slightly lower at $131.60. Price per square foot is a little lower because it has more square footage. But again, we want to make sure what is the difference here. It does have an attached garage, which is immediately next door, which is also a benefit. But what is that HOA fee? And that shows as $300 annually. And I would have to question if that is correct. If it is an annual assessment, then now we have a big difference in $240 a month now to $300 a year. And that would be something I verify before I get a client all excited about it, because most of those HOA fees in condos are done on a monthly basis. We'll click on the next one, which also is going to be a condo. This one is in the Beaver Creek area. Now this one, very similar to what we just looked at in Centerville, a little bit more on the price point, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, so you don't have that additional half bath. However, this one was built in 2002, and this is a first floor unit. So if I have a buyer who's looking for a condo, this immediately is rising up to the list because of that first floor access. And then what we would look here for is that HOA fee. And this one is showing as $394 a month. So again, that's a pretty costly additional cost to your mortgage payment of $394 a month for HOA. Yes, there is some low maintenance items that are taken care of because of the HOA, but you have to figure what that budgetary needs are for you. If that fits, then I would send this on and we would go from there to get in and take a look at it. We'll just click through quickly on some of the other listings here. We've got one in Fairfield Township, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1953. We can see this is starting at a price point of $213.06 price per square foot, which may or may not work for you. And again, looking at where we are going in the price points, we're starting to go up in the price points. So we could compare this in Fairfield Township at 934 square feet versus the next one, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, also built in 1953, Doesn't tell us how much of the square footage is here, unfortunately, but it does indicate that there is a large unfinished basement that gives you an opportunity to pick up, as well as having a 2-car garage and an additional carport that would benefit you. What I would do is, if you're looking for a ranch style home and you want that under $200,000 value, if Springfield or Fairfield Township work for you, then those would be, is this small enough, big enough? Is this big enough, small enough? And those are the questions that we kind of go through. So just looking at the basics of the information and going from there, and then sending it out to clients. This is a nice little home that's listed in Bellbrook. This is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, built in 1958. So this is going to compare with that Springfield and Fairfield Township simply because it's the same style. It is over $200,000 though, so this is $239,900, but that puts the price point at $223 a square foot. If that is an area that you're interested in, it might be worth checking out. Going on, now we pick up into the northern community. This is Tip City, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This home was built in 1900, so that could have its own set of criteria for someone who's looking for character, okay with having that creative culture from that circa, is certainly something that is an opportunity with the millwork and woodwork that is typically done through. We'll just pick up some of the pictures here, because at $135 a square foot certainly seems to present some value. And now it would be a matter of, is it large enough? Corner lot is always a plus. Here you see the 2-car garage, and you can see the price point is worthy of taking a look with this wonderful little covered porch there. Certainly nice to sit out and swing, and you can see the details here. We see the quality craftsmanship of that older style home, really some cute aesthetics that are going on that might work for your particular needs and interests. And this fireplace is just one of those things that you can tell comes from that early 1900 design feature, as well as a built-in here in the formal living dining area, for your china hutch. So these little features are something that you don't necessarily get. Now here you can tell they have updated this kitchen. So this is a nice modern look, still in that 1900 circa Combs style. Definitely a feature that would work for a lot of buyers that I have. We might be checking this one out because it's certainly cool and looks like it's well maintained and cared for. It's certainly something we would want to move up on our list to take a look at. You get into the basement, now you might start seeing some of the wear and tear of a 1900-year-old home. And that means that you want to make sure that you don't have any water intrusion, that the basement is dry, and do you see any cracks or anything like that in the foundation. So those are things that you really can't tell specifically in pictures. You definitely want to do a walkthrough, take a look at it. But this one is definitely cute, and definitely at that price point has an opportunity to present for a buyer looking in that northern community. And I can tell you, I'm going to be forwarding this one on to some people at $135 a square foot. That is also even open for an investment opportunity if we have investors that are looking. Here we have our Kettering area. This is a little Cape Cod with a finished walkout basement that is available, which it shows 1,220 square feet, but they're actually updating it here saying it's 1,600 square feet usable, which means your price per square foot is actually going to be lower than the $213 that it's showing. So if somebody's looking in the Kettering area, $260,000 on a little starter home or a great downsize home might be an option for you. Next, we have one listed here in Lebanon. This is 1,308 square feet, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1976 with a price point of $275,000. Now, this might be something that works for you if you want that southern community. Lebanon is one of those areas that people are interested in simply because it is kind of the halfway point between Dayton and Cincinnati. It's one of those growing communities, but stable and lots of cool cultural things in downtown Lebanon area. Next, we're back into Tip City. Now, this is the first 2-story that's come up on the listings today. This home presents with 1,952 square feet which puts it at a price point of $184.38 a square foot. Now that's at a list price of $359.9 to give you 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, and 1 half bath. And obviously this is something that might be of interest to you if you're looking for a larger square footage floor plan to work for you and your family needs. And some updates that you would look for here is that it does say that it has new flooring throughout that first floor, as well as quartz countertops in the kitchen, new maple cabinets, and an island in the kitchen. So let's pop in for a couple of picture looks. You can see the 2-car attached garage, and you can see throughout it does have some neutral colors that are using. Nice open family room here, I'm going to assume open to the kitchen. So you've got an eat-in area, and here is your kitchen. And you do see the newer cabinet series there. Here's going to be your pantry. And out then you've got your laundry room off here of the kitchen. And we just click through and we take a look at some of the updates. Now here is the lower level, the basement area, which is finished. Nice gaming area and or entertainment area, and or even extra living space if you would like. And certainly decked out here with everything going on. Not the neutral colors, but it might still be something that's pleasing for what your interests are. And you can see the larger room sizes here in the primary with the attached master bath. And we get into the bedrooms. So if this is of interest and you're okay with the colors or coming in to paint, then you know what you might have on your to-do list right away. But you can see extra storage areas both in the lower level basement and in that garage. With a deck here, the one thing I would notice is that it is not a fenced yard. So if I have a buyer who's looking and they've told me they want a fenced yard, this would be something that would be either an improvement that they would decide to make and have a cost, or that it doesn't work for them because it doesn't have that fenced area. So those are just the criteria that I quickly go through, looking at the properties as they hit the market. What do we need to be aware of? And I then would go back and talk with and or send to clients that I have working and looking in those particular areas and or for those particular housing needs. So that's what we see on a daily, and obviously that's just how I look at it, what I like to go off and start my day having information about. And hopefully that helps give you an idea of the quick rundown of what gets involved with how you see what's going on in the market, and then how it gets translated over to potential clients as well. If you have any specific needs, questions, or want to know something, send our comments below and we will get back with you. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we hope to hear and talk with you soon.